It's no longer 10 anomalies, not 11. There are 12 documented anomalies of Object 3I Atlas that are making the scientific community question everything we know about cometary physics. The 11th anomaly revealed that 3I Atlas exhibits non-gravitational acceleration that should have evaporated at least 13% of its total mass, but images show that the object maintained its complete structural integrity. A physical contradiction that simply shouldn't exist. The 12th anomaly, discovered this week, is even more puzzling. 3. I-Atlas's jets extend for more than 1 million kilometers while maintaining perfect orientation, despite the object rotating every 16 hours. According to known physics, these jets should be completely deformed by rotation, like paint being sprayed by a spinning brush, but they're not. They remain perfectly directed, as if controlled by something that defies our fundamental laws of mechanics. Dr. Avi Loeb calculated that, considering the expected thermal velocity of 400 meters per second for material sublimated from a natural comet, this material would take approximately 1 month to travel 1 million kilometers. During this period, 3I Atlas would complete 45 complete rotations. As Avi Loeb demonstrates in his calculations, if these jets were produced by natural ice sublimation, they should appear as a series of separate puffs, like peas in a pod, with intervals of 23,270 kilometers between each puff. In an extension of 1 million kilometers, we should observe 43 distinct gas puffs, all pointing toward the sun. But that's not what we observe. Images show continuous and perfectly directed jets, including jets pointing away from the sun, something that the natural sublimation hypothesis simply cannot explain. The 11th anomaly, recently documented by Loeb, reveals an even more fundamental contradiction. 3I Atlas exhibits non-gravitational acceleration near perihelion that, according to calculations, requires massive evaporation of at least 13% of its total mass. For an object with 3I Atlas's estimated dimensions, this mass loss should result in visible fragmentation or at least significant structural deformation. Natural comets that lose this amount of mass typically disintegrate or show clear signs of structural deterioration. However, preliminary images obtained by the Hubble Space Telescope and other observatories show that 3I Atlas maintained its complete structural integrity. The object appears to be a solid and cohesive body, without signs of fragmentation or deterioration, a physical impossibility if the observed acceleration were caused by natural volatile sublimation. As Loeb observes, this contradiction between measured acceleration and observed structural integrity represents a fundamental violation of established physical principles for cometary bodies. Returning to the 12th anomaly, Avi Loeb identified only 3 theoretical possibilities to explain the oriented jets, and 2 of them are highly problematic. The first possibility would be that pockets of ice located in deep valleys, surrounded by mountains that protect them from sunlight, only sublimate when the sun is at the exact angle. This would create material pulses every 16 hours and 16 minutes. However, as Loeb observes, this hypothesis would only work for jets directed toward the sun, and images by M. Yeager, G. Raymond, and E. Prosperi from November 8th clearly show jets pointing in the opposite direction. The second possibility would be that the nucleus exploded near the sun, creating fragments that left evaporation trails. But this directly contradicts images obtained by David Jewett and Jane Liu on November 11th, which show a single and intact object. The third possibility, as Loeb puts it speculatively but scientifically honestly, is that the jets maintain their direction because they are produced by technological thrusters that preserve global orientation for navigation purposes. These 2 new anomalies join a list that already defies any conventional explanation. The first 5 anomalies establish that Atlas has a retrograde trajectory aligned with a probability of 0.2%, jets directed toward the sun with unprecedented behavior, mass 1 million times greater than Oumuamua, moving more rapidly, perfect timing for planetary approaches with a probability of 0.005%, and industrial metallic composition with anomalous nickel-iron ratio. Anomalies 6 through 10 revealed extreme water deficiency with only 4% by mass, negative polarization never observed in natural comets, Directional correlation with the famous WOW signal from 1977, blue brightness superior to the Sun near perihelion, an energetic impossibility of maintaining cometary activity with observed dimensions. And now, Anomalies 11 and 12 document fundamental physical contradictions that challenge our most basic understanding of how cometary objects behave in space. Dr. Avi Loeb developed what he calls the Loeb Scale, a classification system for anomalous objects ranging from 1 to 10, with 10 being the most anomalous possible. Currently, 3I Atlas is classified at level 4, but Loeb indicates this could change dramatically in the coming weeks. As Loeb explains, if velocity, composition, and mass flow measurements of the jets are consistent with natural volatile sublimation, he will lower the classification. However, if the data are inconsistent with solar heating of a natural comet, the classification will rise above 4. Even more significant, Loeb states that the classification will reach the maximum value of 10 if there is evidence of new objects near Earth or Mars that are related to 3I Atlas. This suggests the possibility that 3I Atlas is not an isolated object, but part of something larger. What makes this situation particularly fascinating is the rigorous methodological approach that Loeb is applying. He's not making sensationalist claims, he's documenting statistically significant anomalies and applying the traditional scientific method to evaluate alternative hypotheses. As Loeb emphasizes, the convergence of 12 independent anomalies, each with low probability of natural occurrence, represents a fundamental challenge to our established models. The combined probability of these anomalies occurring simultaneously in a natural object is astronomically low. In the coming weeks, we expect an avalanche of new observational data that may definitively resolve the nature of 3I Atlas. Precise measurements of jet velocity and composition, detailed spectroscopic analyses, and continuous monitoring of the object's structural integrity. If 3I Atlas is confirmed as an extremely rare natural phenomenon, we will significantly expand our understanding of cometary physics. If it's something different, we will be witnessing one of the most transformative moments in the history of astronomy.